Liam Clark leaned back in the plush seat of the airport shuttle, his fingers tapping rhythmically on his laptop bag as the Las Vegas skyline loomed closer. Beside him, Olivia Gray scrolled through her phone, her brow furrowed in focus. At 35 and 34, they were Denver's tech power couple, co-founders of Clark Gray Innovations, a consulting firm that turned startups into giants and kept Fortune 500s ahead of the curve. 8 years of marriage, no kids by choice, and a shared ambition had built them a life most envied. A penthouse in Lodo, weekend Tesla drives through the Rockies, and a calendar packed with elite industry events. Today, they were headed to a tech conference at the Venetian, chasing a deal with an AI startup that could push their firm past the $50 million mark. Liam glanced at Olivia, catching her quick smile as she pocketed her phone. "Nailed it," she said, her voice sharp with triumph. "Just locked in a pre-pitch meeting with their CTO tomorrow. We're closing this one, Liam." Her confidence was infectious, a spark that had drawn him to her a decade ago, when they were just two hungry MBAs with a dream. He grinned back, squeezing her hand. "That's my closer. Let's make this trip count." At the hotel, Liam's charm shone as he chatted up a bellhop struggling with a luggage cart, offering a quick tip to untangle the mess. The kid's grateful nod made Olivia smirk. "Always the hero," she teased, but her eyes lingered on her phone again, a fleeting shadow crossing her face. Liam didn't notice, too busy checking their schedule. Their presentation was airtight, data-driven, polished, ready to dazzle. This was their element. High stakes, higher rewards. After checking in, they dropped their bags and headed to the conference registration. The hall buzzed with tech execs, startup founders, and venture capitalists, all hungry for the next big thing. Liam worked the room, his easy laugh cutting through the noise as he swapped business cards with a blockchain CEO. Olivia, meanwhile, cornered a potential client, her sharp questions slicing through fluff to pin down their needs. By the time they regrouped, they had 3 new leads and a dinner invite from a Seattle firm. Day 1, and we're already killing it, Liam said, slinging an arm around her as they headed to the elevator. "Let's celebrate," he suggested, nodding toward the hotel's rooftop bar. Olivia's eyes lit up, though there was a flicker of something. Hesitation? Excitement? He couldn't quite place. "You read my mind," she replied, her tone lighter than usual. They'd done this before. Post-work drinks, debriefing the day, plotting their next move. It was their ritual, a moment to reconnect amid the chaos of their empire building. The bar was lively, filled with conference stragglers and locals chasing Vegas thrills. They snagged a corner table, ordered craft cocktails and appetizers, crab cakes and sliders. Nothing fancy, but enough to keep the night relaxed. Olivia raised her glass, toasting to crushing it. Liam clinked his, savoring the burn of whiskey. The conversation started familiar, recapping the day's wins, laughing over a client's terrible pitch. But as the second round arrived, Olivia's demeanor shifted. She leaned back, her fingers tracing the rim of her glass, her smile sharper, almost daring. "So," she said, her voice casual but deliberate, "ever think about shaking things up? Like really changing the game?" Liam chuckled, assuming she meant business. "What, like pivoting to crypto? We're already stretched thin." Her laugh was quick, but it didn't reach her eyes. She took a slow sip, then locked her gaze on his. "Not work, Liam. Us. Our life." He frowned, caught off guard. "What's up? You bored of Denver already?" He kept it light, expecting her to roll her eyes and move on. Instead, she leaned forward, her words slicing through the bar's hum. "I've been thinking. I love you, love what we've built. But I want freedom. To explore other people, maybe just on weekends. Nothing serious, just experiences." The words hit like a sucker punch. Liam's glass froze halfway to his lips, his pulse spiking. "What?" he managed, his voice low, hoping he'd misheard. Olivia didn't flinch. "I'm serious. I want open marriage. It's not about us breaking up. It's just physical. You, me, our life stays the same." Her tone was calm, practiced, like she'd rehearsed this. Liam's mind raced, searching for a sign this was a joke, a test. But her steady gaze told him she meant every word. "You're saying you want to sleep with other people?" he asked, his voice tight. She nodded, unfazed. "Sometimes. I need to feel alive in a different way. It doesn't change how I feel about you." A memory flashed. Olivia glued to her phone at the gym, her quick excuses about work texts. Had she already started? His stomach churned. How long have you been thinking this? He pressed, his businessman's instinct kicking in, probing for the truth. A while, she admitted, shrugging like it was no big deal. I've been texting someone. Nothing major, just exploring. The admission landed like a second blow. Liam's hands clenched under the table, his knuckles white. He wanted to yell, to demand answers, but the bar's chatter pinned him in place. He forced a crooked smile, his voice barely steady. You're dropping this now? Here? After 8 years. Olivia sighed, leaning back. I'm just being honest, Liam. I thought you'd get it. We're strong enough to handle this. Her confidence, her cold, unshaken certainty, cut deeper than her words. Liam stared at his glass, the whiskey suddenly sour. The life they'd built, the plans they'd made, felt like they were slipping through his fingers. He didn't respond, couldn't. The silence stretched, heavy, as Olivia sipped her drink, waiting for him to catch up to her new reality. Liam Clark barely slept, his mind a battlefield of disbelief and betrayal. Olivia's words from the hotel bar looped endlessly. I want an open marriage, just physical, doesn't change us. The Las Vegas skyline glowed beyond the hotel window, but its sparkle felt mocking, a cruel contrast to the fracture splitting his world. He lay still, staring at the ceiling, Olivia's steady breathing beside him a reminder of her unshaken calm. How could she sleep after dropping that bomb? By 5 a.m., he gave up on rest, slipping out of bed to pace the room. The tech conference loomed in a few hours, their big AI pitch scheduled, but his focus was shattered. He replayed last night's conversation, searching for a crack in her logic, a hint it was a fleeting whim. Her casual mention of texting someone, nothing major, just exploring, gnawed at him. Flashes of recent months hit hard. Olivia's late gym sessions, her phone angled just out of his view, her vague excuses about client calls. Had he been blind? Liam, the guy who could spot a bad deal in a boardroom from a mile away, hadn't seen this coming. He needed answers, but the thought of confronting her again twisted his gut. By the time Olivia stirred, Liam was dressed, coffee in hand, faking composure. She stretched, her movements relaxed, as if last night was just another chat about business strategy. Morning, she said, grabbing her phone first thing. Liam forced a smile, his voice light despite the storm inside. Sleep well? That was some wild talk last night. Bars got strong drinks, huh? He hoped she'd laugh, backtrack, blame the cocktails, anything to pull them back to normal. Olivia set her phone down, meeting his eyes with unnerving clarity. I wasn't drunk, Liam. I meant what I said. His heart sank, the air thinning. I've been thinking about this for months, she continued, her tone matter of fact. I love you. I love our life, but I need space to explore other connections. It's not about you. It's about me feeling free. Her words were a blade, precise and cold. Liam's jaw tightened, his mind scrambling. Explore, he echoed, voice low. You're already doing this, aren't you? She didn't flinch. I've been talking to someone from the gym. It's casual, nothing deep. Just possibilities. Her shrug was infuriating, like she was discussing a new workout routine. Liam's pulse pounded in his ears. Possibilities? He pressed. Who is this guy? How long? Olivia hesitated, then admitted, his name's Nolan. A few weeks. We've met up a couple times after workouts. It's not serious. Each word landed like a punch, confirming his worst fears. Weeks. Meetings. This wasn't a hypothetical. She'd already crossed the line. Liam stood, pacing to the window to hide his shaking hands. So you're cheating, and now you want my blessing to keep it up? His voice cracked, betraying the hurt he tried to bury. Olivia sighed, standing to face him. It's not cheating if we agree to it. I'm trying to be honest, Liam. I don't want to sneak around. I want us to be open, to keep what we have, but with more freedom. Her logic was clinical, like she was pitching a merger, not dismantling their marriage. Honest, he snapped, turning to her. You're telling me now, after you've already started? That's not honesty, Olivia. That's damage control. She crossed her arms, unfazed. I didn't want to hurt you. I thought we could talk like adults, figure this out together. Liam laughed, a bitter sound. Figured out? You're rewriting our entire life, and I'm supposed to just nod along. The room felt too small, the air too thick. He needed out, needed space to think. The conference called, forcing them into professional mode. Liam threw himself into their pitch prep, channeling his chaos into focus. The AI startup's execs were impressed, their questions sharp but no match for Liam and Olivia's seamless teamwork. To the outside world, they were the perfect duo, their slides crisp, their answers razor-sharp. But every glance at Olivia, her calm smile, her steady voice, felt like a stranger wearing his wife's face. Between sessions, he caught her typing furiously on her phone, her lips twitching into a smile that wasn't for him. Nolan, he thought, his stomach twisting. Lunch was a blur of networking, Liam shaking hands on autopilot while Olivia charmed a group of investors. He watched her from across the room, her laugh carrying over the crowd. Was this who she'd always been? Or had he missed some shift? A memory surfaced, their 5th anniversary, hiking in Rocky Mountain National Park, promising to always choose each other. Had that meant nothing to her? He pushed the thought down, focusing on the next meeting, but the question lingered like a bruise. By evening, the conference's momentum slowed, and Liam's resolve hardened. He couldn't keep pretending. At the hotel's networking mixer, he cornered Olivia near the bar, away from the crowd. "We need to talk. Now." His voice was low, urgent. She raised an eyebrow, but followed him to a quiet corner. "What's there to say?" she asked, sipping her drink. "I told you what I want. It's your call how we move forward." "My call." Liam's voice rose, then dropped as he caught himself. "You're acting like this is a negotiation. You've been seeing someone, Olivia. You've already decided." Her eyes flickered, but she didn't deny it. "Nolan's just someone I vibe with. It's not about replacing you. I want both, our life and my freedom." Liam's chest tightened. "And what about me? What do I get in this deal?" She paused, then said, "You get me, our company, everything we've built, plus the same freedom if you want it." He stared at her, searching for the woman he'd married. "I don't want anyone else. I wanted us." The past tense slipped out, surprising even him. Olivia's expression softened for a moment, but she recovered quickly. "Then we're at an impasse," she said, her voice cool. "I'm not changing my mind, Liam. I need this." The finality in her tone was a door slamming shut. He nodded, jaw clenched, and walked away, her words echoing. "I need this." As he moved through the crowd, he caught sight of her joining a group, laughing with a man he didn't recognize. Tall, slick, too familiar with her. "Nolan?" Liam's fist balled, but he kept walking. This wasn't over. Not yet. Liam Clark's world was unraveling, each moment at the Las Vegas Tech Conference pulling him deeper into a storm he hadn't seen coming. Olivia Gray's bombshell, her demand for an open marriage, and her admission of seeing someone named Nolan had left him reeling. The hotel room felt like a cage, her calm presence beside him a stark contrast to the chaos in his mind. He'd barely slept, her words from the bar and their morning clash replaying like a broken record. "I meant what I said. It's not serious. I need this." By the final day of the conference, Liam was running on fumes, his usual sharpness dulled by betrayal. The morning session demanded their A-game. Their AI pitch had landed well, but follow-up meetings with the startup's execs loomed. Liam and Olivia moved through the motions, their polished teamwork masking the fracture between them. He caught her glancing at her phone mid-meeting, her fingers tapping out a quick reply. "To Nolan?" The thought burned, but Liam channeled it into his pitch, nailing every question with precision. The execs were impressed, scheduling a contract review for next week. Olivia flashed a smile, but it felt hollow, like a performance for the room, not him. Between sessions, Liam tried to focus on networking, shaking hands with a Denver VC who'd been eyeing their firm. But his eyes kept drifting to Olivia, who was across the hall, laughing with a group of attendees. Her ease grated on him. How could she act so normal? He flashed back to their early days, late nights coding their first app, promising to build an empire together. Had that Olivia been real, or was this her true self, unapologetic and detached? He needed clarity, but the conference's pace left no room for it. By evening, the closing gala buzzed with energy. Execs toasting deals, startups pitching last-minute ideas. Liam stood at the edge of the crowd, nursing a soda, his head too foggy for alcohol. Olivia mingled effortlessly, her laugh cutting through the noise. He watched her, searching for a sign of the woman he'd married. Then he saw it, a tall guy, slick in a tailored blazer, leaning close to her at a high-top table. Their ease was too familiar, his hand grazing her arm. "Nolan." Liam's pulse spiked, his grip tightening on his glass. He moved closer, catching snatches of their conversation, Olivia's playful tone, the guy's low chuckle. Liam's stomach twisted. This wasn't just talking or casual. He hung back, blending into the crowd, his businessman's instinct kicking in. Observe, assess, act. Olivia hadn't noticed him, too caught up in her moment. When she stepped away to grab a drink, Liam approached the guy, keeping his voice steady. "You Nolan?" The man looked up, surprised, then nodded with a smug grin. "Yeah, who's this?" "Liam. Olivia's husband." The words landed hard. Nolan's grin faltered, but he recovered fast. "Oh, right. She mentioned you. Good to meet you, man." His casual tone was a gut punch. Liam forced a nod, walking away before his anger could spill over. He needed air, space, anything to clear the fog. Outside the gala, he leaned against a wall, the desert heat doing little to calm him. Olivia had lied. Nolan wasn't just a gym buddy. This was real, deliberate, and she kept it from him until she couldn't. Back inside, he found Olivia at the bar alone now. Her smile faded when she saw his face. "What's wrong?" she asked, though her tone suggested she already knew. Liam didn't mince words. He met Nolan. "Nice guy. How long, Olivia? How deep does this go?" Her eyes flickered, but she didn't back down. "I told you, it's not serious. We've hung out a few times, that's all." Liam's laugh was sharp, humorless. "Hung out? You're acting like I'm an idiot. I saw you too. That's not casual." Olivia sighed, setting her drink down. "You're making this bigger than it is." "Yes, I've been seeing Nolan. He's a client, someone I clicked with. It doesn't change us, Liam." The revelation hit like a freight train. "A client?" he repeated, his voice low, dangerous. "You're sleeping with a client, risking our company, and you call it nothing?" Her silence was damning. "It's not about the company," she said finally. "It's about me living my life. You can join me or not." Liam's vision narrowed, the gala's noise fading to a dull roar. "Join you? You've already checked out of this marriage." He stepped closer, his voice barely a whisper. "You're not just breaking us. You're gambling everything we built." Olivia held his gaze, unflinching. "I'm not gambling. I know what I want." The finality in her words was a knife to the chest. Liam saw it clearly now. She'd made her choice long before this trip. He turned, walking through the crowd without a backward glance. Olivia didn't follow. A montage of their past flashed. Vows in a Denver chapel, late-night strategy sessions, their first big client win. It all crumbled in his mind, replaced by Nolan's smug grin and Olivia's cold certainty. Liam's shock hardened into resolve. He wouldn't beg, wouldn't break. Back in their room, he packed his laptop, his movements mechanical. The conference was over, and so was their partnership in business and life. As they checked out the next morning, silence hung heavy. Olivia tried small talk about the flight, but Liam's one-word replies shut her down. In the airport, he booked a separate seat, needing distance. On the plane, staring out the clouds, he made a decision. This wasn't just about hurt, it was about survival. He'd built half of Clark Gray Innovations, poured his soul into it. He wouldn't let Olivia's choices destroy that too. By the time they landed in Denver, Liam knew what came next. Protect his assets and the marriage, and start over. The life he'd known was gone, but he'd be damned if he let it define him. The Denver skyline glittered as Liam Clark pulled into his Lodo penthouse garage, the hum of his Tesla fading into silence. The drive from the airport had been a wordless abyss. Olivia Gray's presence beside him a ghost of their shattered marriage. Her Las Vegas bombshells, her affair with Nolan, a client, and her push for an open marriage had carved a chasm Liam couldn't cross. The tech conference's success, their last joint triumph, felt like a lifetime ago. Now, at 7 a.m. the next morning, Liam stood by the kitchen counter, coffee untouched, already on dial with his lawyer, Charlotte Harper. It was time to act. "Charlotte, I want a divorce." Clean, fast, airtight, Liam's voice was steady, his businessman's resolve locking in. Charlotte, a Denver legal eagle who'd handled their firm's contract for years, didn't hesitate. "Got it. I'll draft the papers today and dig deeper into your prenup. Any specific concerns?" Liam paused, the memory of Olivia's casual admission. "He's a client, burning. Check the company accounts. Olivia's been spending on this guy. I need to know how deep it goes." Charlotte's keyboard clicked in the background. "I'm on it. I'll have a preliminary report by tomorrow." Liam hung up, his mind racing. Clark Gray Innovations, their $50 million consulting empire, was his life's work. Olivia's betrayal wasn't just personal. She'd risked their reputation by mixing business with her affair. He opened his laptop, pulling up financials. Hours later, he found it. Irregular expenses, thousands funneled to luxury hotels and high-end restaurants, billed as client meetings. Cross-referencing dates with Olivia's gym schedule, the pattern was clear. Nolan wasn't just a fling. He was a leech, and Olivia had paid the tab. By noon, Liam was at their downtown office, meeting the board. Olivia was still at home, claiming a headache, but Liam didn't wait. He presented the financial discrepancies, his tone calm, professional. These expenditures threaten our credibility. I propose an audit and a temporary freeze on Olivia's signing authority. The board, stunned, agreed. Liam didn't mention the affair yet. He wanted facts, not drama. As he left, a text from Olivia pinged, "We need to talk." He ignored it. Talk was over. Charlotte's report arrived the next day, confirming worse than Liam feared. Olivia had siphoned $200,000 over 6 months, masking it as client entertainment. Some charges linked to Nolan's startup, a minor client of their firm. The conflict of interest was glaring. Liam met Charlotte at her office, laying out his plan. File for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. I want my half of the company sold, assets split per the prenup, and flag these financials for the board. Charlotte nodded. This is solid. She'll have no leverage. Days later, Olivia was served papers at their penthouse. Liam stayed at a hotel, avoiding her calls. She showed up at his temporary office, eyes flashing. "You're blowing this up over nothing, Liam. We can fix this." Her charm, once irresistible, now rang hollow. "Fix it," he said, voice low. "You slept with a client, funneled our money to him, and lied to my face. You fixed nothing." Olivia's jaw tightened. "You're throwing away everything we built." Liam met her gaze. "No, Olivia. You did that." The divorce moved fast. Liam's evidence, bank records, Nolan's client ties, kept Olivia from contesting. The board, citing fiduciary breaches, bought out her shares at a discount. Liam sold his for $25 million, walking away from Clark Gray. The empire he'd loved was tainted, a reminder of her betrayal. He pivoted to real estate, a passion he'd shelved for years. Scouting distressed properties in Boulder, he saw opportunity. Rebuild, not just buildings, but himself. Therapy was his next step. Twice a week, he met Dr. Ellis, unpacking the anger, the hurt, the questions. Why didn't I see it? Was it my fault? Dr. Ellis cut through his spiral. You can't control her choices, only yours. Slowly, Liam found clarity. He wasn't broken. He'd been blindsided. He started volunteering at a Denver youth center, mentoring teens from tough backgrounds. Their grit inspired him, a mirror of his own fight to rise. 9 months later, at a Boulder real estate mixer, Liam met Emma Walsh, a 32-year-old realtor with a knack for flipping homes and a heart for community projects. Her pitch for a low-income housing initiative sparked his interest. Her sharp wit sealed it. Over coffee, they bonded over shared dreams, building something lasting, not just profitable. Emma's warmth wasn't a fix for his scars, but a light on his path. Their first date, a hike in Chautauqua Park, ended with a quiet promise. No games, just truth. Olivia tried reaching out once, a late-night email. "I miss us. Can we talk?" Liam read it, felt nothing, and deleted it. Her choices had consequences. She'd lost the man who'd built a life with her. His focus was forward, closing his first Boulder deal, a renovated duplex netting $300,000 profit. Emma celebrated with him, her belief in his vision, a new kind of partnership. As Liam signed the sale papers, he felt it, a weight lifting. The past wasn't gone, but it no longer owned him. 5 years after the Las Vegas conference that shattered his marriage, Liam Clark stood on a Boulder rooftop, toasting a $10 million real estate deal. His firm, Clark Ventures, had transformed distressed properties into thriving community hubs, earning him respect across Colorado. At 40, he was a new man, husband to Emma Walsh, father to twin girls, Harper and Quinn, and mentor to at-risk teens in Denver. The scars of Olivia Gray's betrayal, her affair with client Nolan, and her push for an open marriage, had faded, replaced by a life built on trust and purpose. Tonight's gala, a real estate summit, was a celebration of his climb, but fate had one last surprise. Liam worked the room, shaking hands with investors and swapping ideas with developers. Emma, radiant at his side, pitched their latest project, affordable housing near Boulder's tech corridor. Their synergy drew nods of approval, their shared vision a quiet power. Harper and Quinn, now 3, were home with Emma's parents, their giggles a daily reminder of Liam's new stakes. His phone buzzed with a photo from the sitter, twins in superhero capes, grinning. He smiled, showing Emma. "Our little Avengers," she teased, squeezing his hand. Mid-conversation with a Denver councilman, Liam's gaze caught a familiar figure across the room. Olivia. She stood alone, holding a glass, scanning the crowd. Her posture, once commanding, seemed diminished, her eyes carrying a weight he recognized, regret. His pulse quickened, not from pain, but from the sudden collision of past and present. Emma noticed his pause. "You okay?" she asked, following his gaze. Liam nodded. "Just some I used to know." Emma's trust, unspoken, grounded him. Olivia spotted him, freezing for a moment. Then, with a hesitant step, she approached. Liam stayed put, his calm a hard-won shield. Up close, she looked older, not in years, but in spirit. Her confidence eroded. "Liam," she started, voice low. "I didn't expect you here." He nodded, neutral. "It's been a while." Her fingers tightened on her glass, her next words careful. "You're doing well. I've heard about your projects. It's impressive." "Thanks," he said, keeping it short. Olivia shifted, her gaze flickering to Emma, then back. "I owe you the truth," she said, softer now. "I messed up. I thought freedom, living for myself, would make me happy. It didn't. Nolan, the others, it was all empty." Her voice cracked, but she pressed on. "My firm's barely afloat. I lost clients, trust, everything. Seeing you here, with your family, your success, it hit me hard." Liam listened, his face unreadable. A flash of their past, building Clark Gray innovations, dreaming big, surfaced, but it held no sting. Olivia's choices had ended that chapter. "I'm not here to ask for anything," she continued, eyes down. "I just needed you to know I see it now. I threw away what mattered for something that wasn't real." She paused, waiting, but Liam's silence spoke volumes. He thought of the divorce, the $25 million buyout, the therapy sessions that rebuilt his trust. He thought of Emma, who'd entered his life not to fix him, but to grow with him. Of Harper and Quinn, whose laughter was his anchor. Olivia's regret was hers to carry, not his. "I hope you find what you're looking for," he said, his voice steady, final. "If you haven't yet, keep searching." It wasn't forgiveness, but closure, a door shut for good. Olivia nodded, her eyes glistening, but she held it together. "Take care, Liam," she said, stepping back. He watched her retreat into the crowd, a stranger now, her weight no longer his to bear. Emma slipped her arm through his. "You good?" she asked, her tone light but knowing. "Better than ever," he replied, meaning it. They rejoined the gala, Liam's focus back on the future, new deals, new dreams. As the night wound down, Liam stood by Emma, watching Boulder's lights twinkle below. His journey, betrayal, rebuild, triumph, had led here. Olivia's path, revealed in her own words, was a cautionary tale. After the divorce, she'd chased her vision of freedom, building a solo consulting firm that soared briefly. She traveled, partied, cycled through relationships, Nolan just the first of many. At first, it felt electric, control, desire, no strings. But the shine faded. Clients drifted as her focus waned. Nolan's mismanagement tanking key deals. Her wealth grew, but her life hollowed out, each connection shallower than the last. A year ago, scrolling social media, Olivia stumbled on Liam's life. Photos of Emma, the twins, his Boulder projects. Each image was a dagger, showing what she discarded. Regret became her shadow, her success a cold comfort. Tonight, seeing Liam's fulfillment, she'd face the truth. Her freedom was a trap, her choices a dead end. Standing alone at the gala's edge, she watched Liam laugh with Emma, their bond unbreakable. The life she'd imagined for herself was his now, built on the integrity she'd abandoned. Liam, driving home with Emma, felt lighter than he had in years. The twins' bedtime stories awaited. A new property deal closed tomorrow. Olivia's confession hadn't shaken him. It had freed him, proof his path was right. The moral was clear: trust and commitment, not fleeting thrills, build a life worth living. As he pulled into their driveway, Harper and Quinn's toys scattered on the lawn, Liam knew he'd found it, the real thing.